What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pop Culture's Group Chat, where we talk about all the reality TV news that we care about and you really need to know. I'm one of your hosts, Anna Rumor.
And I'm Jamison Brown.
And I'm Victoria Magotomy.
Guys, let's all place a hand over our heart because it's the end of an era. Whether that era is good or not, it remains to be seen. But wow, keeping up with the Kardashians.
I have not properly mourned, and I need to mourn. There might be some mourning in this episode.
Absolutely. You wore black, so thank you.
Yes.
It's appropriate. I didn't.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
God.
I should have thought about it.
If it were Real Housewives, I feel like you would have worn black, but that's okay.
If this was Real Housewives, I would have. I would have had to take a personal day if this was Real Housewives, but keeping up with the Kardashians is done, kind of. In 2021, it will be done. So we're gonna talk a lot about that and what that means and kind of the legacy that show has had over the last 14 years. We're going to talk about that for the first half of the show. And then there's a lot happening in Real Housewives. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The trailer was finally released and there's some stuff in there, but I was like, huh? So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to break down Big Brother because we are going with this season and everything just blew up and there was a bunch of fights. So I will do my best to explain it. But if I struggle,
there's a lot.
There's so much happening, guys. So let's start with keeping up with the Kardashians. Tuesday, Kim announced via a statement that keeping up with the Kardashians would be coming to an end after 14 years with season 20 in early 2021. We're just about to premiere season 19. So we have 2 more seasons to go. But I think we've talked about this before on the podcast where I thought it should end.
Yep.
But I never expected them to actually do it. So I was shocked.
Now that it's here, you're regretting that, right?
I did. You know what? I teared up for a second when I was writing a story about it. Not because I particularly enjoy that show, but just because I remember watching it so long ago and now it's, you start watching it when I was 14 and now I'm 28 and the show's over.
Dude,
you
with Real Housewives is me with the Kardashians. I love the Kardashians. That family is hilarious to me. They're my guilty pleasure. I love watching that TV show. Anyone that hates that family can fight me on it because I love them so much. So when she announced this, so when she announced that, I did not believe it for a second. I was like, this is not happening. I'm not ready for this. Why in 2020 of all the years do you need to make this announcement? Am I shocked? Kind of not. If you think about it, Rob's been done for years. Kendall and Kylie have been doing their own thing. And then obviously Kourtney's been super vocal the last 3 seasons about not wanting, to shoot the show. And then you think about what's actually happening in their personal lives, that is, timely. And it's, you've got Kim and Kanye going through a pretty rocky phase in their marriage. Are they going to stay together? Are they not? And then you've got, Khloe and Tristan getting back together for the 3rd time after he cheated on her twice. So it's there's a lot going on, I think in their personal lives. So I'm not shocked, but I don't think that this is going to be the last of the Kardashians. I think that we're still going to see so much of them, but I'm very interested to see how we see them without the show being in play.
I was thinking about it and it's every single person knows what's going on with the Kardashians, but that show doesn't do that well in the ratings. A lot of people, I would say most people don't watch that show. But we know everything about them because they're on social media, they're in the regular media, they're constantly everywhere. So I think at this point, their TV show has been kind of a back burner project for them. It's a good way to get
It's probably just more of a nuisance
press.
Having the camera crews follow you around. And it's just okay, can we just, they already have so many cameras following them around everywhere they go anyways. But to have an added camera crew, that's it. Because also people forget, I think, that reality TV, it's not just these cameras following them around. It's not that simple. There's takes and retakes and there's long days of shoots. And, it's still very much a job on top of their already very busy lifestyle. So.
And they don't need the money. Half of them are almost billionaires, depending on who you ask. But If I had $1 billion, you would never hear from me again. I would disappear into the ether. And I don't think they're going to do that, but like, they certainly don't need camera crews up their butt every, couple months.
But I will say selfishly though, like I'm the person that still watches. I do look forward to new season. So like us not getting a new season past the one that's gonna, premiere in 2021 is a little sad because like there's only gonna be so many reruns that I'm gonna watch that I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'm over this. I don't know, maybe it's a good thing, but I am sad about it. It is they've changed. Okay, Anna, I think we talked about this yesterday, like they've changed so much in the world of reality television and pop culture. So like when we say again, well, that too. I mean, have you looked? Okay, I had to go back and look at season 1, episode 1, and then you look at their faces now, and it's like, bro, are these even the same humans? Well, good for them. Gosh. It was a nice glow up. I mean, it's
the meme where you're not ugly, you're just poor.
Yes, if you had money, this is what you can look like. Although I think Kylie Jenner has gone a little too far. Like I feel like we need to just.
Yeah, those photos from before it looks like a different person.
And her friend Stassi, who's like now her new like Jordan Woods, like the BFF, Oh, yeah. Like if you look at pictures of her on Instagram, like the girl has gotten the same surgeries that like Kylie has. And I'm like, has anyone seen what this girl used to look like back in the day? I mean, like, again, good for you, but like, it's a little much. Okay. We're setting new standards in like other ways that shouldn't be set, but like, here we are. But they've just made such an imprint on society, and they've been able, you got to think about it too. This family has been able to sustain bad press. Like when they get bad press, they're going nowhere.
They're the ones who are giving themselves the bad press half the time because they're geniuses and they know that all press is good press.
Yeah. I mean, but like they're able to withstand so much, like their reputations, their brands, like are able to withstand so much. And that's how you're on a next level fame.
They're to the point now where their lives are the show. And it just is that. There is no need for this show anymore. There's no, like for any one of them, there's no need financially, with reach of their stuff, whatever they're pushing. I mean, there's just it's almost at this point, I'm assuming, more of a hassle than anything holding them back from what else they're looking to do.
For sure.
And what I think is interesting is a lot of reality TV shows have a very quick turnaround, a very quick production turnaround. So something happens and you get to watch it a couple months later. Keeping Up with the Kardashians has such a long production turnaround. We see things like a year and a half later. And I don't know why that is. I mean, it's a thing with their production company, but it's just to the point where anything that's dramatic that's happening on the show, we've already seen it. We've dissected it to the point where, like the whole Khloe Tristan thing, that was so dramatic at the time. I was reading every single thing I could read about it. When the show came around and was going to show it, I was like, I don't care. I already know everything about this. What could possibly be interesting about this that we don't know? Because they live their lives so in the spotlight.
Yeah. Khloe had even mentioned that too. Like after that, when she had to relive and like watch all those episodes, she was even like, dude, we got to find a quicker turnaround rate because this whole 6-month deal is not. Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, seriously, like I was thinking about it and was like, well, maybe they're canceling it because the whole Kanye thing right now is like a whole cluster. And I can't imagine that they would want to show that necessarily. And that's so big.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I don't think they're even filming for, like, they've already filmed for the seasons that we're going to see. I don't think we'll see that at all. So they really are cutting it off. And it's going to end in mid 2021. Like, oh, come on. And no one wants to wait that long for this. I mean, we're not that interested. I mean, I'm not. Wait.
And hopefully if we're all out of the pandemic by then, good Lord, we're going to be watching them going through the pandemic because that's what we're going to see. Like nobody
there is
what we're all going through right now. Like
the end of this season is going to show the coronavirus pandemic. And I have to say, not just with Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like Real Housewives of Orange County is going to cover it too. There's nothing I want to watch less than these people deal with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Every day of my life. I don't want to watch rich people deal with it.
Yes. But listen, I'm sad. I did mourn a little bit. I need to mourn properly, probably with a bottle or two of wine. And then I'll be able to move on with my life.
Would you like to have a moment of silence? We had one for Dorinda.
Yes. Okay. Ready?
That was beautiful. Okay. I want us to remember Keeping Up with the Kardashians, not with the plot lines of them eating salad. Well, actually, I do kind of want to remember that.
Not the plot lines. Every single episode. Like, I wonder if that salad company is getting bank from that, because everyone's like, where do the Kardashians go to get this salad? Because I've heard my LA friends like talk about that. Like, oh yeah, I went to, I forget the name of the place, but it's like, yeah, this is where the Kardashians go to get their salad. And I'm like,
their salads look so good. I mean, every single time I watch them eat them, I'm like, I want that.
And they're in a nice like big bowl that just seems very gives me space to like stir everything around. It's a nice healthy setup.
It's like ASMR when Courtney just is in the middle of yelling at someone and is also shaking a salad. Where it's just like, I don't know why you don't respect me as a mother. Shake, 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 shake. And I will miss that.
I mean, that's like not out of the ordinary on like almost every single episode. So good for that salad company.
Yeah. I'm just thinking back on kind of how the show has evolved over time. And recently it's gotten kind of, I don't know, it hasn't been funny. Like, I feel like it started off very funny. Like getting to watch Chloe or Kim take selfies on the way to Chloe getting bailed out of jail, or getting to watch Kim cry about losing her diamond earring in the ocean, and
oh my god, that was still
so funny.
Talk about an iconic episode.
It's because they were able to make fun of themselves at that point, but now they're so famous that they're a public persona. Like, they can't be, they can't be the subject of the joke. Now they have to be like Chloe's pranks and stuff like that, which are so clearly producer driven.
I also loved
staged.
Kendall and Kylie used to be like the fun like beboppers in the background, just like dancing around the house and being like the annoying sisters. And then Kylie all of a sudden just like overnight was like, lip kits.
These are my lip kits, and I will no longer be on the show.
These are my lip kits. Bye. Yeah, like she turned real boring real quick. I was like,
are 10 out of 10.
I mean, if you look back at the most recent seasons, there's a girl on TikTok who does Kourtney Kardashian better than Kourtney does it, and it's so funny. I don't know her name, but I wish I could.
You know what they need to do? They need to give us at least one episode in the last season. If anyone from this show is listening to this, we would be honored, first off, if you listen to this, but also if you guys could do an entire episode of just nothing but impersonations of one another, like if they all just dress up as each other again, that would be fabulous.
For the whole episode, not just for the whole episode we had last time. Yeah.
And I need Chloe as Kris Jenner because she does it so well.
She's so good at that. Nothing is more funny than watching them make fun of each other, because they are pretty, I don't know, they're middle self-aware. Sometimes they're very self-aware, sometimes they are not.
Yes, true.
I'm very excited about that. I am curious what you guys think will be next for them, if anything. I mean, because they're already
you have a theory on this, and I really want to hear it.
Well, no, so I don't have a theory on this. I had a theory on why they were canceling it, and because of Kanye.
I was gonna say I'm right there with you. I think they probably before Kanye were already having these discussions of, do we need this show or not? It was kind of a topic of debate, 50-50, and then everything that happened, because they don't, the answer is no to that. And then everything that happened with Kanye took it above and beyond, the meshing of reality and personal life into damaging, just everyone across the board, including him. So like, I think that's probably what sent it well over the line and made them come out with this decision. And just, it was a clean cut, 20 seasons, to give a clean number to it. So, I think that was their answer.
Yeah,
I think that's true. But there's a lot of theorizing, and this is so not going to happen. It's mostly a joke, but some people are like, what, really? It's not going to happen. People are asking if Kris Jenner is going to appear on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. No, of course not. She was on one episode this season, which is why people are asking. But she's not going to be on there. No.
I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine recently about this, and I was like, listen, if you watch that show, we love The Real Housewives because they're dramatic, they're drunk, they're slop tarts, like we love it.
Yeah.
I do not want to see Kris Jenner in that light. Like, Kris Jenner plays this like
I do.
No, I don't want to see her yelling at people and smashing tables. Like, I want to see her be like the made fun of mom by Khloe, Kourtney, and Kim on the Kardashians. And while she's drinking her glass of wine at 9 a.m. in the morning, like while she's like just prancing around the house. Like, I just want to see that. I don't want to see her on Real Housewives. I'm like,
I do. I want to see the dark underbelly that we all know exists.
No.
She would never go on the Real Housewives ever.
Never.
No.
She goes from being an EP of her own show.
Reputation? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
No way. It's not gonna happen. It's not even the same network. Like, come on.
But people are very curious, to see. I'm just curious to see like what this does to the E network, because I feel like if you watch that network, like it's so much Kardashians, and I've said this for a long time. And like it's
built off this show. I mean,
I mean, like E, and with their recent news, I
they just canceled E News too.
They just canceled E News. So I mean, listen, I've been saying for years, I'm like, I mean, I grew up watching the network when, that was, the thing to watch, when I was younger, but are they just going to continue to play a ton of reruns, or are we going to find something new? Like I have so many questions.
Well, they got 20
guys.
Seasons, so.
That is true. They have a lot to work with.
Don't worry. We have very Cavallari reruns that we can play too.
Listen, I was kind of a fan of it because Jay Cutler was hilarious because he was just Jay.
Listen, I watched it. It's funny, but
I do like her friend Justin. Her friend Justin's hilarious. I follow them on social media and he's so funny. If Justin's listening, we can be best friends. We both live in Nashville. Just come say hello.
They also have Botched, which I love. I don't know how many people are watching Botched, but I'm one of them. So, we'll watch that.
I can't watch anything medical though. I'm such a baby. Like
husbands of
it's Dr. Terry DeBro and Dr. Paul Nassif from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Like that.
I love them so much. I got to interview.
Wait, they're not. Are they married to each other?
No, they're married to. There are two Real Housewives husbands. Well, one of them is.
I did not know that there were Real Housewives husbands. Wow, I'm so late to this party.
Yes, Terry DeBro and Heather DeBro, and then Paul Nassif was married to Adrienne.
Oh,
but they're not together.
Good. You learn something new every day. Thank you, Jameson.
Now you're gonna tune in.
Jameson's like, this is what I'm here for.
What's up?
All right. Any parting words about the Kardashians before we take a quick break and move on?
Nope.
I would like to say a big thank you to the Kardashians. You guys have been so great over the last 20 seasons, and I love you so much.
And we can't wait to seeing more of you every single day on every platform possible because you're always there. All right. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back with more Real Housewives stuff. All right, we're back. We were talking about Real Housewives a little bit before, but let's dive in with the big news from this week. First off, we'll do the Beverly Hills roundup. Denise Richards is gone next season from Beverly Hills, which is the biggest, of course she is, ever. They attacked her all season, and whether or not you think she was lying about the Brandi Glanville situation, I personally do think she was lying, but I'm still on her side. She was just really relentlessly kind of targeted all season. So she's already rich and famous. So I would be gone too.
And I feel like we talked about this before too. Like with everything that she went through with Charlie Sheen, the girl is a pro at dealing with this stuff. But I feel like she's just at a place in life where she's like, I am so done.
Yeah,
dealing with any of the BS.
Charlie Sheen for that many years, and then this show, I'd be like, all right, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a good fit. She's not very messy. She's super chill. She's not very glamorous. I mean, she's beautiful, but she's just like a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. She shows up to their barbecue in what is actual barbecue attire, but with everyone else showing up in Givenchy scarves and stuff. She looked out of place, and she just didn't care, and she didn't defend herself well at all. I wanted to take my spirit and put it in her body and defend her for her because she had so much to work with, but she just couldn't articulate what is a good point. It made me very frustrated. But she came out and said the other day she's gone, and that's fine. whatever. So yeah, I hope you have a better life without these women.
I know, she needs a less dramatic life. Just chill, girl.
Right. I mean, I don't know if she'd ever watched an episode before she decided to be on it, but she had no interest in being yelled at, and that's kind of part of the game. So she's gone. In other news, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We were just talking about this the other week, wondering when the trailer was going to come out, and it's now. So we have the official cast lineup: Lisa Barlow, Mary Cosby, Heather Gay, Meredith Marks, Whitney Rose, and Jen Shah. Those names mean nothing to us now. I followed them all on Instagram, but they will mean something to us later. The kind of focus of the season appears to be their diverse religious backgrounds, which will be kind of an interesting take because we've never really had that. We haven't really focused on religion at all in the Real Housewives. But Lisa, she is of Jewish heritage, but she's a Mormon convert. Mary Cosby is Pentecostal. Heather Gay is Mormon-ish, as she describes herself. Meredith Marks is Jewish. Whitney Rose is a lapsed Mormon, and Jen Shah is a lapsed Mormon who is converting to Islam. So that's going to be interesting. Their fashion looks on point, and in what everyone is talking about, because, we don't have too much to go on yet. We don't know these people. We don't know the city. Mary Cosby has an interesting sentence in her official bio because she owns a family business. The caveat in her taking over the family business was that she married her late grandmother's second husband, Robert Cosby Sr. So she's like married to her step grandpa.
What?
He is 20 years older than her, but 20 years younger than her late grandmother. So
wait, hold on a second.
Interesting.
Okay, for starters, just flat out weird. There's that.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously. But 20 years between a grandparent and granddaughter?
So 40 years.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So he was younger to her grandmother. And but she's older to him.
No, he's older than her.
He's older than her, yes.
I'll draw out like a family tree once I figure it out myself.
Yeah, we need a screen share.
She's right here.
Now with the
She's right here. She's right here. 20 years. He's right here. 20 more years. Grandmother's up here. So he's sandwiched between them. So he dated 20 years older, and now he's dating.
But I just love that they put out all of the bios. Sorry. And it's literally like 8 lengthy paragraphs about these women, and every single person within 15 minutes of getting the release was like zoop in on that sentence. It's like, what? So I am personally very excited to learn more about that, and almost exclusively just about that. That's the most interesting thing I've ever heard. But it should be, I don't know. It looks like it's a good season. We're not going to have any other shows, so I'll definitely watch it.
Of course. I'll watch it with you, Anna.
Yeah, right. I've never been to Salt Lake City. I don't know what it looks like, but they seem very rich, and they're beautiful and interesting family dynamics. So let's move on to Big Brother.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
I did like a mini breakdown before we started recording. It's a little confusing. I'm going to do my best. And this is based on the feeds, okay? Because watching the show is a little bit of a confusing narrative because the feeds have a lot of details that make it make sense, basically. Oops, sorry. I was like, kick the wall. Very excited. So Christmas won HOH, as we figured. Kaysar got voted out last week. Very sad. And then Christmas put up Bailey and Devon. She said that was because Bailey said straight up to her that Devon is her untouchable, because they are both really determined to have a Black person or a Black woman win, neither of which has ever happened in Big Brother, which is insane because it's 22 seasons this year. So yes, if someone says that like, this is my ride or die, it makes game sense to try and vote them out. But because of the social implications of it, and just because POC are kind of regularly targeted on this show, it's been a racial dynamic that house guests have talked about, that the show has talked about. and especially after last season. So there's a lot of consciousness being drawn to this right now. And so Christmas is like this move, which would maybe go unthought about on other seasons, is being scrutinized a lot.
Did she state why though she did that? Because we both know that Bailey and Devon are in, you know, they're like together, they're working
That's what
together.
she said. Yeah, it was the untouchable thing after Bailey told her, but they were each other's untouchables. So that makes sense game wise, but it has different social implications in 2020 than it might have in the past. So there's an argument that takes place between mostly Bailey and Christmas. Devon is also involved a little bit, but Bailey is a bit of a hothead, as we know from, past seasons and this season. So they really go at it. It's all on the lives. It's very difficult to watch just because, I don't like watching people fight about things that are real. I want to watch real Housewives fights where they're fighting about like champagne glasses, not about, real things. So that happens. Everyone's feeling really gross about it. Devon and Bailey are like, why are we even in this house? Like Kemi from last season tweeted, was like, I advise Black people to like not even go on Big Brother just because this is going to happen to you and it's going to be traumatizing. It's like, oh my gosh. So there's a lot going on with the dynamics of the house. Tyler, meanwhile, he's been kind of doubting whether he wants to play at all just because this season, I don't know, he's been feeling weird. He misses Angela. He's been talking to the camera a lot about not feeling like his heart's in the game. So knowing that Bailey and Devon, one of them is going to go home unless they win the veto, spoiler alert, Christmas wins the veto. He kind of has a breakdown and basically offers to Bailey and Devon that he wants to send himself home and support their cause and having a Black woman win Big Brother by self-eliminating, basically. On the feeds, he is then called into a meeting in the diary room where if you read the Twitter accounts that follow the feeds, it's like, you can't self-eliminate. That is against the game or against the rules. So, and that has different, contract implications. So he comes out. The communication that breakdown is kind of unclear, but basically he can't self-eliminate, but doesn't communicate that well to Bailey and Devon. So they're going around thinking that they're going to get a second chance. And that's not what happens. Christmas wins and she keeps the nominees the same. So very tense. Tyler's talking about, he's like, I have to get back in the game because I'm here, but I don't want to play anymore. Bailey and Devon are both disappointed. It's kind of a real big bummer aspect of it. And when you listen to us, one of them will be on.
And we've talked about this, before every, time we discuss Big Brother, but like we've complained that this has been kind of like a crap season anyways, just because they're not talking much game with each other. And like, I did see like when Enzo was HOH, I think Ian had gone in to talk to him to talk game because he had mentioned like, I want to talk game. Like a lot of the older players, that played in the earlier seasons are wanting to talk game. And yet like for some reason, a lot of these like new players are like, oh, he wants to talk game, so I'm going to go talk game with him. It's like, yeah, but you should be doing that in the first place. Like that's what Big Brother is. So it's already been like such a weird like season so far. And of course we complained that it was a bad season. And then now we're getting this, but like, I don't want to get like real, like now we're just getting like some serious drama that I feel like is outside of the game. And that's challenging to watch, Well,
it's not exciting. It's sad to watch, I want drama that's game-based drama instead of people who are walking away feeling marginalized or feeling like they're, being discriminated against, regardless of everyone's intentions. We can never know anyone's intentions, but watching it and having people's actual feelings be hurt and really feeling that, that aspect of the game is not fun for me to watch.
I also feel like there's bigger threats in the house than Bailey and Devon. Like, why aren't we targeting the other, like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a whole aspect of the criticism against Christmas is like, you say that, but like, there's bigger threats in the house. So why? But then you go into the alliance, and, we're never going to get a straight answer about what actually happened. And especially because a lot of this has gone on in the diary room. So we're going to have to wait to see. And a lot of that will air tonight in the show that airs Thursday night. Yeah. But it's just, I don't know. It's tough to watch. It's tough to watch Tyler not want to be there. It's tough to watch Bailey and Davon know that one of them's going home when they're really all each other has in the house. Yeah, so it's difficult to watch. There's a lot of fighting going on. You can watch it on the feeds. It's all over Twitter. And then, just to top things off, Cody's grandpa died. They had to tell him that in the diary room, and he came out and was crying, and everyone was like trying to comfort him, and it was really sad there. Mm-hmm. And then it was, I believe, Danny and Christmas and Memphis were caught on camera making fun of Ian, who is on the autism spectrum, for like for the way he stims, which is also messed up. And then, I think it was Danny that came back and apologized publicly, but it was after she'd been called into the diary room. So
dude, I love Ian. He's so sweet.
I know, he's the best.
And so honestly, if you think about it, like, if Christmas was smart, you would think to eliminate Ian, because Ian has won so much.
Nicole. I think it was Nicole over Christmas.
Oh, sorry, well, continue. I'm saying, but like, he's someone that could be a target because he's so good at this game. You know,
he's already won. Yeah, I don't understand why they've kept him around.
I know. I'm like, the dude slides under the radar. Like, good for him. But yeah, I know he's super, and everyone should know in the house too, because he talked about that he was on the spectrum. So like.
Oh yeah, they knew that's why it sucks. I mean, it sucks for many reasons, but that's one of the reasons why it sucks. So it's just it's a dark week in the Big Brother house, and I hope that we can move forward and a new week, new HOH, and everyone can have a little bit more fun, because everyone right now, if you watch the live feeds, is just like brushing their teeth for 5 minutes or like just napping in the middle of the day because they don't want to talk to each other because everyone's mad about real things that they shouldn't be mad about. So, I hope they can work it out. And it all comes down to the interesting part of Big Brother, which is it's a social experiment where you put a bunch of people who aren't like each other into a house and see what happens. And it's 2020 and things are not going great. So like, I don't know, it doesn't not track that things would not be going great when you do that. So yeah, so that's what happens. I think probably Bailey will go home. When you guys listen to this, we'll know for sure. But she seems to have less of a social connections in the game. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, what a bummer to end on. But let's bring it back up with I'm so sorry, guys.
Pop culture pick of the week.
If the Big Brother people would be in a better mood, then we could... Pick it up, guys.
Oh Lord.
So let's talk about our pop culture picks of the week. What is striking you guys?
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna let Jameson go first.
So mine is kind of like two-pronged. So I've gotten into I didn't like purposely start watching this. It just kind of was on. My wife was watching it, and then I'd go outside and would be like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that's pretty good. In Selling Sunset on Netflix, and not necessarily of like all the drama stuff, but I actually really enjoy the real estate piece of it, where they showing the houses and prices and listing. Like, they actually do an okay job of like detailing all of that stuff, which is kind of a nerdy way to look at that show, I guess, but it's I don't know, it's really enjoyable. So that's kind of the first piece. And then the second piece is an Instagram handle recommendation for all, which is, it's called Cheap Old Houses. And it's got like over 1 million followers and it's verified. It's like this huge thing. And it's basically just a Twitter account that shows all of these homes across the US in like rural America that groups of people are buying together, like in cash, and just living there. So they're buying like these old houses in like Wisconsin or something they're like 4,000 square feet for like $8,000. And then,
oh my gosh, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, and it's just this whole, it's like this, and it's pairing up with this movement that's happening in big cities, especially as a result of the pandemic, in LA, mainly New York, where a lot of people are exiting these places and kind of reevaluating their the standard of living in those places and cost of living, and moving to rural places across America. So it's just like, it's this real interesting movement that's happening. And that Instagram handle is like the best showcase of it. And it's like addictive too. You could just look, because like they give tours of the houses and they give the price and everything. It's awesome.
Oh,
I'm looking right now.
I love real
full
estate.
Church
Yes.
I could buy in Pennsylvania for $72,000, and it has all the stain. Oh, Jameson, thank you. I'm gonna follow that and
that's a great example too, because they don't just do houses. They do there's one on there that's an old commercial building, but somehow it only cost $1. And now, that being said, it's a POS. So
you're right.
In terms of everything about it, foundationally speaking, but it's just really, really interesting. So
that's fascinating, and it's gonna fuel my dreams of moving to the middle of nowhere and buying like a cottage or something.
Yeah, that is not even just a dream on my end. That's my retirement plan. So
right.
That's already in the works.
That's fantastic. Thank you for that recommendation. I'm going to be spending
I had to
all
look
of
at
my evenings doing that.
It is addictive. Heads up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love anything with real estate. It's so fascinating to me, especially like these really like big old homes. You're just like, they're so cool.
There's a show on Netflix. This is not my pick because I don't know if it's good or not. It's called like $1 Million Beach House or something like that.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yep. I watched the first episode, and these houses, I had to stop watching because it actually kind of depressed me, because I was like, I'll never see that much money in my entire, if I lived 17 lifetimes, I would never see that much money in just one house, but they're very beautiful.
If you like that though, if you like this lane, they've got Tiny House Nation. They've got a bunch of tiny house shows.
Extraordinary House too. Extraordinary.
I don't watch houses I could afford.
Amazing.
Yes. I like houses that I could do that. I feel sad when I watch big ones.
They've even got a series on there called Mortgage Free Living, and it's very, very good. So,
all right, we will check back when we all have new houses that are tiny in the back of a rail yard or something. So my pop culture pick of the week is we are getting new developments from The Masked Singer. If you guys have been listening, you know that Masked Singer is my favorite show. I love it so much. It's coming back
Which
soon.
I love how much you questioned the show when it first was coming out, like everyone, but now you've like grown to love this show. So
listen, the show is insane. It's a weird fever dream. I have no idea how it's good or why people enjoy it, because the premise is dumb and whatever. I love it so much. I look forward to it. It's one of the only shows I actually watch live. I don't know how to explain it. I have to know who's beneath the mask. This season, they're going to have their first two-headed costume. So it's going to be two celebrities. It's called the Snow Owl. And it's two little snow owls in like one egg. And my guess right off the bat is it's the Property Brothers.
Yeah,
we haven't heard them sing yet, but I'm just trying to think of two people who would go on it who are like semi-related. And I'm guessing the Property Brothers.
And they can sing.
Right? They want to be musicians right off their bat. So
what if that's it's Tia and Tamara Mowry?
Tamara already was on it. That was my first guess, but she was already on it a couple seasons back.
Wait, can she not go back?
How do I not remember this?
In this kind of unique scenario?
I mean, maybe she could, but I would imagine that they would want to reach.
I do not remember, and I've watched it from season 1. Maybe because they jumbled 3 seasons into like a year.
Okay, maybe she was either on or she was one of the guesses until the very end, and then it was Adrienne Bailon.
I think it was Adrienne. Now Adrienne, I do remember because I've not seen Tia or Tamara. I feel like I would have remembered that. No, it was Adrienne.
Okay, but everyone thought it was her for a long time at least. Okay, maybe it is her then finally, because they do that a lot whenever people guess. Okay, interesting. All right, so that's mine. I'm excited. Send me your twin snow owl pics on Twitter. What about you, Victoria?
Let's see. Mine. Okay. So anyone that knows me knows that I'm obsessed with the Golden Girls. I've been watching that show with my grandmother and my mom for as long as I can remember. And now we are going to have an all black cast of a revival for the Golden Girls with Tracy Ellen Ross. And I am stoked.
They already did it.
Oh,
the other day. It was Tuesday. It was like a Zoom
I thought that was just okay. I thought that was. Oh, is that okay? Then I misunderstood all of it.
Yeah, I got kind of misled by that too, because they were like.
Because I thought that they were gonna. Yeah, it was a table read, is what it was.
Yeah,
okay, got it.
It was to raise money for charity. I didn't get to watch it, but I think you can watch it somewhere else.
I need to find it. I thought that they were gonna come back with like a full-on season. Which, hey, I mean, if anyone is listening to this, you guys should do a reboot. I would so be game for that.
I would love that. Although it was, whenever I first thought it was a reboot, I was like, these women are too young. But
I know. Yeah, I did think that. I was like, well, they are a little bit young because technically, you know.
I'm willing to suspend my disbelief.
Betty White can make an appearance, and you know, I don't know.
I can pretend they're 80. I don't care.
I know. Well, okay, never mind. Now I feel dumb.
That's so exciting, though.
You know.
Apparently, it was very funny.
The Kardashians, you know, but we already talked about that. Rest in peace.
But no, I mean, the Zoom was apparently very funny. I saw a lot of things on Twitter about it being very good. So I'm sure that what's it called? The Zoom where it happens. I think so if you Google that, you might be able to find a screen recording of it.
Okay. Well, I need to go watch that. I thought they were coming. Look at me. There's just a lot to keep up with, okay? And it's 2020. Don't judge me.
I just feel like I just took all the air out of your balloon. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I just got so disappointed. Pop culture pig, like torpedoed right there.
I know. Reality smacked me in the face.
Listen, there's still stuff to watch, and you know what? Maybe they'll see how much everyone loved it and make a real one. So
I sure hope so, because I love that show.
All right, guys, don't forget to follow popculture.com. We've got all your up-to-date news. We're on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Anna Rumor.
I'm at Jameson G. Brown.
And I'm at V Megotomy.
Drop us a rating, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll talk to you guys next week.